So I keep seeing a lot of videos about we're in the find out phase.
So Ashley here makes a very interesting point, and it's one that many of us on the left have also made. The people who voted for Donald Trump did so because they're not doing as well as their neighbors, and they want their neighbors to suffer. But there's just one problem with that: resourcefulness and resilience. Ashley here promulgates the notion of a happiness index, meaning that the Trump voter who has a happiness index of 55 wants his coworker who has a happiness index of 80 to suffer, and is willing to watch as that happiness index drops down. But that's where resourcefulness and resilience in education comes in. Some of us are already planning for the economic turmoil to come. Let's say that we are living with a happiness index of 80. Okay, so we lose 5 points. We're still doing better than the Trump voter. We're still making contingency plans, cutting down our debts, planning to economize, baking bread if we have to. And we can still be relatively happy with a small dip from what life was like under the Biden age, because we're determined to not only live, but also fight fascism. And when you have nothing but wishing other people's destruction, you're still deferring the problem of you. You haven't learned to live a happy and meaningful life. You haven't learned what to do with the resources that you have. Your goal in life is to be miserable and to bring other people down into said misery. Our goal on the left is to try to be as happy as possible even when the shit is hitting the fan. Look, I'm a creative dude. I've made an audio drama and I've stretched resources. I have been homeless. I have stretched resources. I have survived. I have stretched resources. And I have largely been happy because I have known how to do a lot with little resources. That's the survival skill that you're going to need to have entering 2025. And that's a survival skill that is absent in the Trump voter. Factor in new developments such as the MAGA cult increasingly being ostracized, being disinvited from holidays. And what does the MAGA cult have after all that? Oh, sure, you made our happiness index dip, but we've been here before. During the Great Depression, Americans showed great ingenuity at finding ways to survive and be happy based off of having very little. And given that the Trump voter has no understanding of tariffs, no understanding of what's going to happen with Project 2025 policies, they're either going to have to come crawling back to us, and we've already put up our hands and said, no, you're not, or they're going to be left out in the cold without the ratiocination and the acumen to survive a darker age. So fundamentally, it is still a FAFO situation. I get hit all the time with soy boy, soft man, all of this fucking bullshit, because that's who the MAGA cult thinks that we are. But we are strong and resilient in ways that they can't even countenance, they can't even consider. If we have to do less with nothing, we will do less with nothing, because we fundamentally operate from a place of joy and a place of empathy and a place of, well, trying to do the best we can. Perhaps some liberals who are addicted to luxury goods will suffer or have to change their spending patterns. But even though things are going to be tight for everyone, I would argue that those on the left are in a better position to survive simply because they read and they keep track of economic policies and they are better at long-term planning. And with the average American credit card debt at $10,000, who do you think is going to be better equipped to last during the Trump age? Don't get me wrong, I appreciate your thought experiment, but I think that you fundamentally underestimate the character of many liberals.